dawal foofu sa quality jasna your number one stop shop ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garmi yi ndaxte quality jasna amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala pos abaya yu yiiw waaye amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye fàttewuñ fa diw yi ana sama jeeg yu pare yi quality jasna amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg dama ne atum ren ji ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte quality jasna ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi makeup artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay makeup product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofa sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo quality jasna si 250 01 24 ak quality jasna taaral sa bopp taaral sa néeg waaye bégal sa alaaji aas.
This press conference is about our own brothers, our own party colleagues who are in the custody of the security forces, or let me say the police. It is about that. 2 days ago, in fact, on the 13th to be precise, Rambo Jatta was also heard on audio castigating Momodou Sabally, Sonko, and Imam Sonko. But what is significant about that is, he said, IGP Abdullah Sanyang, for long you've been branded UDP. For long, UDP people do things like that, no arrest. This is the time for you. In fact, Momodou Sabally, Sonko, and Imam Sonko, they should be arrested. In fact, you should arrest them. So he blackmailed the Inspector General of Police. After all, arrest them for what? He said he was disappointed for what Mr. Sabally had written or stated. He said that on Wednesday, and yesterday, Momodou Sabally was arrested. Whatever he alluded to was already in the public domain. The police knew about it, the police read it. It was in his Facebook page. So what I'm just trying to say is that, it is people, political opponents of UDP that are using the police for their own political agenda, for their own political purpose, and then getting them arrested, our supporters. The statement that Mr. Sabally was alleged to have made was made on about the 7th of September. It was in Facebook, all over the world, all over. If the police cared, if the police felt that Mr. Sabally had committed an offense, he would have been arrested on the 7th, if not the 7th, at least on the 8th. Wouldn't have been on the prompting of Rambo Jatta. But if they do act on the prompting of the political, let me find myself, so the allies of their political masters, if they are acted on their promptings and the arrest is effected, what you're complaining about is sin. Is there any need to keep the person over again? Because you keep arrestees in detention to enable you carry out investigations. Now, what Momodou Sabally is alleged to have said is written. There is no further investigation. If that is the crime, you already have the evidence there. What do you have to hold him for? If you have a case they will take him to court. If what he said violates or infringes any of the provisions of the criminal code, you do not need any further investigations. Because all that was saying that the PIU brutalizes the opposition, oppresses them. In fact, yesterday it happened at Kairaba, when some of our supporters went there to see Mr. Sabally. I mean, a group of paramilitary officers or the the police intervention unit personnel came, and instead of the civil police that they should be, they were approaching and talking to people, in a way that we expect from Gambians, and started harassing them, beating them. And in fact, there was a lady, Ajabinta Jabi, she was malhandled. People were being beaten in their cars. People running to enter their cars so that they could drive out. But that was absolute evidence of how the PIU was brutalizing opposition people here. But if you say that, as I have done so, I have now said that they do so, what is the crime infringed? But what you have seen is very reminiscent of the Jammeh era. In fact, in the Jammeh era, UDP's whole problem, our entire engagement, we are never with the APRs as a party or the APRs militant. It was between UDP and the security. And now, the same thing is happening between UDP and the security. And I had earlier on, some time ago, said, look, we expect the security forces of this country to really treat us as Gambians, that we believe that they are the people that we should be working with, and they are the people that we will be working with when we come into government. So our relationship should be harmonious. We shouldn't, in our own quest to really get to political power, the security should not really be an obstacle to us. They should be friendly to us, just as they are friendly to any other thing. But that does not mean that if any UDP supporter or any UDP member commits a crime, he should not really be arrested. What we say is that you are arrested and be treated according to the procedures laid down by the law. What further evidence do the security want in respect of those Facebook postings by Mr. Darboe, by Mr. Sabally? What offense has he committed? But as I said, these are things reminiscent of the Jammeh era. Since the 70s was in the circulating in the social media, or all those who are friends of Momodou Sabally have seen them. Why do you wait until Friday evening and then ask Mr. Sabally to go to the police? These were the sort of things that were happening in Jammeh's time. And of course, Sonko was also arrested, taken to Kairaba, separated from Sabally. These were the things that were happening in Jammeh's era. So all those things that were happening in Jammeh's era, we are having them now. And that is because those people who were at the helm, or at least in senior positions in the security in Jammeh's era, are the people who are still at the heads of this security institution. They know nothing other than what used to happen in Jammeh's era. They know of no other procedure. Those ones who are law-abiding, they are stigmatized as opposition because they want to see that things are done according to law. They taint them and say you are opposition. And of course, in the Gambia today, when anybody is branded as opposition, it means it's UDP, no other party. If they want to refer to another party, they will say the name straight away. but it's only UDP that is taking us the opposition in this country, and we are glad and happy about that. Now, what we are saying is that the arrest of Momodou Sabally was not really done in order to enforce any provision of the criminal law. It was not an arrest done in good faith. It was an arrest actuated by malice. It was an arrest solely intended to provoke Mr. Sabally. And if you remember, some time ago, when Mr. Sabally was arrested, it coincided with another incident of great national concern to everyone. That was when it was announced that there are people who wanted to stage a coup. That arrest was at the same time. Now again, you have this tragic incident taking place in the Gambia, arresting him. That is intended to provoke some elements of the society, but we will never be provoked. We will never be provoked. We'll show you that what you are planning, or what you really you look into doing, UDP will not fall in for it. But we will say this, that when Mr. Sabally said that the PIU under Pate Jallow is used to brutalize, we have seen the evidence of it. At least we have seen the evidence of the PIU brutalizing people. We have Fatou Mbodj, who was arrested by my residents and brutalized by the PIU. So the PIU has in fact established bad name for itself. Has established bad name for itself in the country. And I think it is time that the PIU cleanses itself. The PIU takes itself to the laundry and makes itself clean by building a reputation that is, that the Gambian people, will feel that we are satisfied that these are people who deserve to be in our uniform. These are people who do not brutalize our citizens. They have a burden to do that. And certainly, I challenge the leadership of not only the PIU, but even the Gambia Police Force, because the PIU is part of the Gambia Police Force, that you should be engaging in reputational building rather than really doing things that will undermine your reputation. It's not nothing that anybody can conclude other than this being a politically motivated arrest. An arrest intended to silence Momodou Sabally. But of course, Momodou Sabally is like several leaders in the UDP. You can incarcerate us, but you cannot stop us talking. Because the ideas that we stand for, even if you incarcerate us, those ideas continue to float in the streets, and the people will talk. We know that these 72 hours that the law Constitution talks of is abused. And we also know, or let me say, I know, as a matter of fact, that if you rely on a legal position to do certain acts, which is wrongful in the eyes of people, you must be able to show that act was done in utter good faith. It was not done as an abuse of power. And this is certainly one of abuse of power. Gentlemen of the press, we thought we should call you and put forward our case and to say that we condemn the use of Yahya Jammeh's playbook in the run of this country, and that is being done every day. when there is no regard for the rule of law. Because regard for the rule of law means really enforcing the law in good faith, not when you use it in order to score points that are either immoral or points that are really intended to stifle and weaken your opponents. So our lawyers have gone to see Mr. Sabally. He's in the best of spirits because I don't think any of us to break him down can ever succeed. He's in the best of spirits, and his family are also in the best of spirit because they realize and know that the cause that Mr. Sabally is pursuing in this country is a just cause, and being a just cause, they are in high spirit and they are proud that Mr. Sabally, his sufferings is all for the good of this country. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I thank you all for your attention.
Jasna pire soo ko bëggee fii si biir Gambia bi dawal foofu sa quality Jasna your number one stop shop. Ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garmi yi ndaxte quality Jasna amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaaya yu yiiw waaye amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye fàtte wuñ fa diw yi. Ana sama jeeg yu pare yi quality Jasna amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg dama ne atum ren ji ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte quality Jasna ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi make up artist yi bàyyi ngeen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay make up product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofu sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo quality Jasna si 250 01 24 ak quality Jasna